Welcome back to the Pursuit of Accuracy. I'm Josh, and today, as you can see, we have two Bergara B14R on the table, and I want to talk a little bit about the differences between the two and how we got to where we are on these. And we're going to do a little bit of an overall kind of review of what I see about this rifle platform, what its capabilities are, what its limitations are, and what that means to you for someone who may be interested in buying one of these, especially if you're looking at some of the other brands out there like CZ or Tikka or Voodoo or Rim-X. The intent of this video is to shoot these a little bit and give you a realistic idea of what you can actually expect out of these and what I really think about the platform as a whole. So let's get right into it. All right, so with the race style rifle out of the way, what we have here is a basically all stock B14R, and this was sent to me as a complete rifle through Bergara, so I do appreciate them sending that in. So the only thing I've done was I did add a little bit of Arca rail here on the forend so I could attach my bipods, as they are all Arca. So other than that, completely factory. We did put on an Athlon Cronus on top of this, so we have a very capable optic on top. On the other rifle, we have the track torque, so not much of a difference there. For around about $1,000, I think it's going to be pretty hard to beat this rifle in most respects. Now, you can get CZs for less than that, but if you're looking to get a trainer, something with an AICS pattern magazine, then $1,000, you're not going to find anything in this price point with a trainer. And these are really good, really reliable rifles. As far as trainers go, I couple this very closely with a CZ 457. While the CZs are not trainers, they are super reliable, and this is an extremely reliable trainer. So they do have a few issues that I would like to point out, but overall, this is gonna make a really, really, really good, just all-purpose shooter. And for $1,000, throw a bipod and optic on it, and you can go shoot. So if you were looking to get something and you knew you wanted a trainer, then I would say buy this. Now, if you were gonna shoot something like PRS or NRL 22 and you knew that's what you were gonna do, I would point you in the other direction. So this awesome piece of space gadgetry right here is also a B14R. So when I first bought this barreled action, I had this on the channel, and you saw I was having some problems with bolt close and things like that. So yeah, bolt throw can be pretty stiff. And that was a really good excuse for me to go out and buy this IBI barrel. So I bought this, and the benefit of this is you can kind of headspace this yourself. Now, IBI has a really good video on how to do that. I will link that down in the description below. So I did that, and that I feel has taken care of the hard bolt close. Another common issue that these rifles have is sometimes it doesn't want to eject the spent cartridge all the way out. Instead of ejecting out of the receiver, it will just kind of fall into the magwell area and cause you to jam up. Now, that's very common, and a very common fix to this is staking the ejector. Now, my buddy Darren has a YouTube channel. He is a Team Bergara shooter. He has a really awesome video on how to go about doing that. So I'm not going to recreate what these guys have already done. I will link those videos down in the description below, so if you want to know how to do it. So those have resolved basically all my issues. And what we have here is the Mdt Acc chassis. We have the track torque optic and a spur mount with a Timney hit trigger, which is freaking awesome, the IBI barrel, and the Bergara barreled action. So if you were gonna shoot something like PRS and NRL 22 and you know you're going there, I would probably steer you in the direction of buying this barreled action and putting it in the chassis you want, and then possibly upgrading to this IBI. Now, you can see this thing is a freaking hog of a barrel. It's a damn truck axle. It is 1.25 inches straight taper, but the good thing is I took all my external weights off here, and when you pick this thing up, it is freaking balanced. I mean, all that weight of that barrel is helping balance this rifle out quite well. So enough jibber jabber about this. Let's throw these on the bench. Let's start with a bone factory one. We'll shoot some groups at 50 yards, and we're just gonna talk about overall feel. We're gonna see if we have any problems with extraction, ejection, feeding, anything like that. All right, so we have the factory rifle Bergara here, the B14R. And again, we're shooting this with an Accutech bipod, and this is the complete factory setup. And we're just gonna kind of show you what you get for $1,000. And remember, this is a complete rifle. So stock, trigger, everything but the optic, and the rings, and the bipod, etc. come with this. So it's pretty much a ready to shoot rifle, which is pretty awesome. Does come with one 10-round magazine. So I have the scope cam going on the other rifle here. Let's start on the left target, bottom row. We'll say a trigger is not bad for a factory trigger. Being 700 short action compatible, you can put on your favorite Mdt Hit or Trigger Tech Diamond. Seems like it's getting warmed up now. You can tell the bolt throw is a little stiff. That's a pretty common deal with a B14R. So not quite as easy to cycle as like a CZ457 or Tikka, but it's definitely manageable. A really good thing about this rifle is that a lot of the B14Rs I see are really good shooters, and for the money it's kind of hard to beat them. You really are getting quite a lot for your money here. Alright, it's not loving the 10X. This is a fairly new barreled action too. It's probably only 50 or 60 rounds through this gun. All right, so you can see that this thing is very reliable. We didn't have anything hanging up, no problems feeding, no problems extracting, no problems ejecting. And like I said, we're just shooting this 10X because that's what I have. Haven't lot tested for this rifle, and it only has maybe less than 100 rounds down the barrel overall. So no doubt in my mind that we can find some ammo that this really likes and it will be a shooter. But enough of this one. Let's get kind of the race ready platform up here and see what we can do with that. Talk a little bit more about these upgrades, what we have done in that rifle, and what you can expect to see out of those upgrades as far as building a more competitive setup. All right, so introducing the B14R hammer, as I'm gonna affectionately call this thing. We haven't quite got done lot testing. I only have a few lots of Ely to test with right now, but as you can see, we got the track torque optic on here in the spur mount. We have a Mdt Hit trigger. We have the Anarchy Outdoors bolt knob and lever, and this is in our Mdt Acc chassis, so quite the setup. Obviously also has the IBI barrel on here. We talked about that, so you're going to see kind of how the action feels and looks through what you're seeing here from this angle. You can see how much or how little force I'm having to use in comparison to a factory barreled action. And tell you right now, I've just gotten this on here. This is the Anarchy Outdoors bolt knob and kind of lever, and there are some really good benefits to this thing, and I'll talk about them as I'm shooting, but so far I'm really liking this. Enough of that, let's shoot some Cold War shots here. We'll go to the top of that same target at 50, and then we'll probably go out here and maybe do some holdovers on some steel targets and just whack some steel with it for fun, because why not? So let's go top left here. That Mdt Hit is freaking so sweet. And so watch what I'm doing with the bolt knob here. I'll actually run this kind of how I intend to train myself to run this, and this is only due to the benefit of this actual part on here. So no difference with the bolt closed, but break the shot. Now I can just lift my finger up, rock this backwards, and then kind of operate that really smoothly. And we'll probably work this off the tank trap so you can see. I'm trying to set this up so I'm not disturbing the gun, especially when it's on a prop. Man, I think the wind got us on that last round of that other group. Yeah, look at that group. That's a really nice point too. So, you know what? Let's run this off the tank trap now. And do a little vine removal there from the tree. Let's see what we got here. So we're gonna go, let's go that top left to that cider. And hopefully we can keep these in that circle. Bunch of wind. All right, we kept them in the circle there. All right, let's see if we can really do something here and get one in that little itty bitty circle. Ah, I missed it. Let's try it again. Oh, that one barely made it. All right, let's shoot some steel. You know what, we'll stay here. Let me back off the magnification. Bunch of wind. We're gonna be doing holdovers. There we go, got that guy. Basically holding left edge, see if we can get that little spinner down there. Got him. See if we can get that little guy. Oh, we're out. I'm gonna grab a few more. All right, so the mag that's in here now, you haven't heard me mention much, that is an L3i mag. I'm just kind of testing it. Jury's still out on it, so I haven't really said much. Got that guy. Let's get that squirrel. All right, let's go back over here. That guy. Enter the spinner there. The small guy again. Oh, knocked him right off. I think that's it. All right. Okay, so I appreciate you guys hanging out with me on the range today. Big takeaways from this video. Do I think you can buy a better trainer for $1,000 than this complete rifle? Absolutely not. Like every other rimfire, you're gonna have to find the ammo that it likes. Some of them are less picky, some of them are more picky. I can tell you right now, I will have videos of this shooting some really good groups because I will find that ammo. I just haven't had time to yet. And honestly, most of my attention has been on this B14R right here. So you saw the other video where I got my butt whoop taking this to a match with no dope. I'm getting this lined out and kind of set up, found the ammo that it prefers out of what I have, and now I just need to go and get my dope and verify all the data. That way the next match I go to, I'll be a little better off. As far as a barreled action goes, is there a better barreled action for the money? No, absolutely not. Not in a trainer, I mean, no way. Now my CZs, I've been able to have my CZs shoot with these, but having the 700 compatibility is a big deal. I think having this Anarchy bolt knob and bolt handle is a big deal. You can see with the IBI barrel, I was able to set my own headspace for the Ely. Like I said, those videos will be linked down in the description below. They've already been done by IBI. Darren will show you how to state the extractor on this. See, I had absolutely no issues today. Haven't had any issues since I've done that. So that has totally cleared that up, and it's a really easy thing to do. You don't really need a bunch of fancy tools. So having said that, this is here to stay. I do have a Voodoo 360, but with like most Voodoos, it's a little bit finicky on the mags, a little finicky on the feeding. It's been 100% for extracting and ejection, all that kind of thing. But for right now, reliability is my main concern. I'm used to having an extremely reliable CZ457 platform, and the Bergara B14R series has been just as reliable, especially with these last little fixes that I've done. Very interested to see how this does out at distance and how it's gonna perform once I have all my information in a match. So with that being said, if you're looking at buying a B14R, I wouldn't hesitate to do it. Great rifles for the money. If you're looking at getting a IBI pre-fit barrel because you already own a B14R, also wouldn't hesitate to do that. Super easy to follow the instructional video they have provided. Again, link down below. And if you're looking at getting some of the Anarchy outdoor products, especially like this bolt knob and bolt handle, definitely also wouldn't hesitate on buying that because this has been really good so far. I'm gonna get a couple other colors. I will probably have one on this rifle too, just for continuity purposes. But again, thank you guys for hanging out with me. Check my description down below for those videos. I also have some affiliate links down there if you want to help support the channel by getting something from Anarchy Outdoors or checking out some of the Axle Ear Pro that you don't see me shooting in the video, but that I use when I'm shooting center fire or doing other things like cutting my grass. So I appreciate you guys. Thank you for hanging out with me today on the range. We'll catch you on the next one.